Hello, I'm Nitin Dahad, and I'm speaking to Hitesh Garg, who's the manager for India in NXP Semiconductors. Hitesh, hello.
Very good morning. Hello.
Well, it's good to visit you in your offices here in Bengaluru, and just like to sort of get a little idea of what's going on at NXP here at the moment. What's your vision with all this activity going on around building the whole sort of semiconductor manufacturing ecosystem here in India?
No, first of all, thank you very much for visiting us, Nitin. Thank you. I would say these are very, very interesting times as we see NXP in India is very strong. So we have 4,000 strong R&D engineers in this country, and also so most of the complex and I would say high-end chips are built in NXP India. Uh, Also around we see the local, what you say, the semiconductor ecosystem, startup ecosystem have kind of developing at an accelerated pace, especially in last 3 to 5 years, and that's providing us new opportunities to connect with the ecosystem, how we look at them, the startups, as our partners, as what you can say, where we can use them for our go-to-market or grow this whole semiconductor ecosystem in this country. Special markets that we are focusing on is definitely automotive, but we also see a lot of opportunities in terms of industrial market here, which is a bit fragmented, but the industrial players are looking that how can they use semiconductor the best to have the highest level of efficiency possible in manufacturing, and that's what we are focusing at this moment. Automotive, not only four-wheelers, but we have interesting market for two-wheelers and three-wheeler in this country.
And NXP has been quite, it's quite established here in India for several years.
Yes.
You've been very much, and I think one of the maybe the narratives in the past has been around you serving the design needs of a global electronics semiconductor industry, but I think that's changing now, isn't it?
That's very much changing, and I think, in other words, I would term it as that we are. I think NXP, if I see, we are a company where we call focus more on product innovation, and if I say 1/3 of NXP R&D is sitting in India, that we are contributing quite a lot to product innovation. So that means that we have an understanding of the customer needs. We have an understanding of how the chips should look like. A lot of architecture level decisions, a lot of system architecture decisions are done in this country. So it is much more than pure design house. It is how we look at overall systems and what are the emerging, especially we see a lot of opportunities in terms of edge computing, and also how we look at some of the new standards like even quantum compute, right? So some of those that work that we see also coming up in India. So looking at the new age technologies at the same time serving the local market with best in class, our automotive, you can say, giving our insights into automotive market. So I think that's what we see. Our thought leadership coming from various sectors is also, I think we see that kind of thing developing in India.
And that thought leadership has propelled NXP India into sort of very much into the sort of helping with the policy making at the government level. I mean, you yourself, Kurt, and Lars met with Prime Minister Modi maybe once or twice at least, definitely recently. What do you think are the key messages you're giving, and what do you think the government is taking away from what you're saying?
So one of the key message that we have with the government is, of course, so there is a lot of potential for doing overall, or at least the focus should be on the ESDM market. Also end-to-end delivery of electronics. I think that's where the government is thinking not only on the design piece, but also on the manufacturing piece, on the tier one. So I think if you see in last few years, we have become a net exporter. And if I look maybe next six years down the line, we will be at a $300 billion electronics producing agency. So we were a net importer. Our imports were even more than oil imports, and that's where the government woke up. They said, no, we need to do something in this sector. And that's the messaging. How can we support government in these initiatives, looking with our system thinking, doing so system design for specifically for India market. be it in, as I said, the regions like in automotive, in industrial, in IoT, in communication. How can we bring our thought leadership to transform this market?
Now, India's been, I think I've been writing about it a long time, and various of my peers have been writing about India for a long time. And if you look at always over the last 20, 30 years, IESA has always been putting out figures of this large ESDM market in India. What's different now? Is it because of the leadership within, or in government as well, is actually understanding of what needs to be done and is serious about getting things done, or is it just because it's the right time because of the geopolitics?
No, it's a combination of everything. Of course, the government is seeing that our electronic imports are growing. That is one. Second is we see opportunity in this space because, of course, India can play an important role. Also, geopolitical is also fueling in because every country is trying to see how can they be self-reliant in these topics. So all those opportunities combined, we see a lot of even big conglomerates jumping into this opportunity of not only semiconductor but the whole ESDM ecosystem, and that is making India market very, very interesting for us.
And I think you talked about sort of your focus obviously is in growing the design ecosystem, and you've been doing this startup competition. This is the fourth year you're running it.
Yes.
And they're feeding into some of the key things that are happening in India. Is that right? What kind of areas are you seeing a lot of projects, I guess?
No, absolutely. I think the startup ecosystem in this country is really thriving, and it's our opportunity that we see. And we have running this startup initiative for last 4 years. We have connect with 1,000 startups specifically in the ESDM sector. We are engaging with at least 20 startups in a much deeper relationship. We are engaging them, we are mentoring them, we are giving them global connects for them to grow. At the same time, so there's so much happening in this ecosystem. For example, I just mentioned a company, I think we met last week. So they are making solutions for at least they are doing deep algorithms for autonomous cars. So these kind of things are also done. So we look at, okay, the possibilities, okay, we are an automotive company, we are coming with the best-in-class sensor, best-in-class connectivity, best-in-class compute chips. How can we partner with such companies who are coming with these unique solutions looking at the India market?
And with the growth in what's happening now with that ecosystem, and we see more of the sort of manufacturing as well coming in here?
No, absolutely. I think manufacturing is coming in, and that's where Indian government has put in a lot of support for the manufacturing ecosystem here. So yeah, I think we see. So of course, Gujarat is one of the key states where they are putting a lot of incentives into this area. So I'm very hopeful. Very soon, India, as you rightly said, that of course we are a design powerhouse. Soon it will also become a manufacturing powerhouse.
Well, Hitesh, thank you very much.
Thank you.